Let's be honest. School taught you how to follow rules, how to show up on time, how to pass tests, but it never taught you how to build wealth. And that's not an accident, it's by design. You see, the modern school system was built during the industrial era. It was designed to take children from wealthy families and transform them into innovators who could lead the world. Or so they say. In reality, it was designed to create obedient workers for factories. That's why we sit in rows, raise our hands, ask permission to speak, because the system was designed to train compliance, not confidence. It hasn't changed much since then. Even today, school still teaches you to trade your time for money, not how to make money work for you. Now, I am not saying that every single teacher out there is a part of some grand conspiracy to keep us poor or that teachers are evil and don't care. Of course not. Most teachers genuinely want to help students succeed. But unfortunately, they are bound by the system. And the truth is, if you haven't been taught the fundamentals of money, you will continue to live your life like a poor man even if you earn a lot. You will remain stuck in scarcity thinking that every dollar you earn should be saved. So you save all your money. Then, when you get old, you will be forced to spend it all on medical bills. The fact that you were never taught how to properly manage money means that rich people will always have a massive advantage over you. When you understand how the game works, it's easy to play. But when you don't understand the rules, you are playing the game blind. And here's the worst part. Playing the money game without knowing the rules often gets people arrested. When you don't know the rules, you end up paying way more tax than you need to. You get sucked into bad investments that leave you broke. And I've seen it all too many times. Most people would rather stay ignorant than admit that they don't know anything about money. They are too scared to ask questions because they feel ashamed. Ashamed of what? Being curious. Come on. So today, I am gonna cut through all the nonsense and tell you why you were never taught how to get rich. And most importantly, what you can do about it. Part 1. The origin of the system. The modern school system was built during the industrial era, not to create innovators, but to produce obedient workers for factories. Back then, factory owners realized that hiring adults was inefficient. Children were cheaper and easier to manipulate. By making education compulsory, they created a population that would accept low wages because they were too busy chasing their dreams. You see, we have been trained to chase degrees, not success. We're told to find a passion when we're young. We're conditioned to listen to our teachers. But where does this leave our ability to think for ourselves? The sad reality is that most people stop thinking for themselves when they graduate. Their entire lives, they've been programmed to study for exams and tests. And once they finish their studies, they're thrown into the real world without any guidance. If you don't believe me, look around you. Look at your friends, your family, your coworkers. How many of them could explain to you how the economy works? How many of them understand debt? What about inflation, taxation, asset protection? I bet very few. And the saddest part is that they don't even realize that they don't know anything. How can we fix something that we don't know exists? The problem is not with the schooling itself, but with the mentality behind it. The fact that it creates mindless robots who obey orders is the problem. The idea that getting smarter should only happen in a classroom is also flawed. Most kids have zero interest in studying theoretical subjects. Just look at what happens when school gets canceled for a couple of weeks. Do you know what happened next? A massive drop in test scores. Why? Because people who think they know everything about education always claim that poor results are due to bad schools and teachers. But the reality is that nobody cares about the education of other people. Why would someone care about educating your children? The best educators are those who have learned a lesson in life and then go back to share it with everyone else. Unfortunately, most teachers are teaching things that they themselves have never learned. And it's not their fault. Part 2. Why money is never discussed. You spend years learning algebra, geography, biology, history. But did anyone teach you how to budget, invest, pay taxes, build multiple income streams? No. Because teaching financial freedom creates people who think for themselves. And that's dangerous to a system built on control. Think about it. If everyone knew how to build wealth, everyone could be rich. But in reality, that's not the case. If you're watching this video, you already know that there's more to life than being smart. When it comes to finance, street smarts are just as important as book smarts. Unfortunately, school focuses on book smarts. I'll let you in on a little secret. The fact that you're watching this video makes you smarter than 99% of your classmates. Trust me, now. I'm not saying you should drop out of school and become a dropout millionaire. What I am saying is that school isn't the answer. In fact, I believe that every student should be able to choose between two options. Option number one, learn a practical skill. This could be in technology, mechanics, coding. Option number two, learn how money works. You can spend years learning a practical skill only to find out that you hate it. But if you learn how money works early, you will use that knowledge throughout your whole life. Most people have no idea how much their ignorance is costing them. I've met people who graduated from top universities and yet didn't know how to pay taxes on investments. Can you imagine the amount of money they lost? They paid tens of thousands of dollars in unnecessary fees. And when I asked them why they didn't ask for help, they said, "I didn't know I needed help." That's the problem. You must start questioning things that don't make sense. Ask yourself, why did I have to memorize pi to 10 decimal places, but I don't know how to calculate taxes? Or why did I have to write an essay on the French Revolution? But I don't know how to invest. Once you start asking these types of questions, you will see the bigger picture. Part 3. What rich families teach their kids. When you grow up in a poor family, money is rarely ever spoken about. At the dinner table, it's a taboo subject. If you're from a rich family, however, money is everywhere. They talk about it at the dinner table. They talk about it while shopping. They talk about it while investing. For them, it's a normal thing. And this starts at a very young age. When you're a kid, your mind is like a sponge. Everything you experience becomes part of your subconscious programming. If you're born into a poor family, you absorb messages like money is hard to come by or rich people are greedy. These messages might seem like harmless beliefs, but they're destructive to your future. They form the basis of your financial reality. On the other hand, if you're born into a wealthy family, you absorb different messages. You hear phrases like work smarter, not harder. Find ways to automate your business. How are your investments doing? These messages shape your beliefs about money. As you grow up, you carry these beliefs with you. They dictate how you spend, save, and invest your money. In short, they shape your financial destiny. So, while you were never taught how to get rich in school, the environment in which you were raised played a big role in shaping your financial foundation. And finally, part 4, what you can do right now. If school failed to prepare you for financial freedom, it's now up to you to educate yourself. Fortunately, we live in the greatest era of information abundance. The internet gives you access to the collective intelligence of billions of minds. But how do you make sense of all this information? Start by reading books on finance and investing. Listen to podcasts. Watch videos like this one. Learn about assets and income. Most importantly, surround yourself with people who want more. You see, wealth is no longer reserved for the elite. It's reserved for the disciplined. The fact that you're watching this video shows that you're ahead of most people. You're taking the first step towards financial freedom. Keep pushing. Keep learning. And remember, the game of money is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who dare to dream big and work tirelessly to make their dreams a reality. Closing message plus CTA school taught you how to pass. Life teaches you how to build. If you want to learn what school never taught you, subscribe now. Leave a comment. What's one thing you wish you had learned in school about money? And let's build your financial freedom together.